So after azimuthal quantum number, third quantum number is magnetic quantum number. Clear? So magnetic quantum number, it's means it is represented by small m. So principal quantum number explains cell, azimuthal quantum number explains subcell, and magnetic quantum number explain about orbital. Okay. So it first explain about how many orbitals are present in a subcell. So its formula is m equals to 2n plus 1. That means in a orbital, how many cells, how many orbitals are present in a subcell. So m equals to what is number of orbitals in a subcell. Clear? Then come to example. So first L equals to 0. That means which subcell? So L equals to 0 means S subcell. So S subcell has how many orbital? So here orbital will put the value, that is m equals to 0 means what? Only one orbital is present. But what is the value? So will you remember, the values are lies between minus L2 plus L. The values are lies between minus L2 plus L. So here how many m value will come? How many orbital is present? 1. What is the value? So 0, because minus 0 to plus 0 means 0. Similarly, L equals to 1. L equals to 1 means which subcell? P subcell. So P subcell means if you put 2 into 1, so total 3 orbitals are present. What are the values? Now minus 1, 0, plus 1. Getting? Yes or no? Similarly, L equals to 2. So which subcell? D subcell. Okay. So in D subcell, put value 2. 2 into 2, 4 plus 1, 5. That means in D subcell, 5 orbitals are present. And what are the values? So the values are lies between minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1 and plus 2, like this. Okay, so when m equals to 0, this is called S orbital. This is called S orbital. Clear? Similarly, when it is minus 1, will you remember Px, Py and Pz. Here also dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square, and middle is dz square. Always will remember, for dz square magnetic quantum number value is 0. For pz magnetic quantum number value is always 0. But now in chemistry we are reading, suppose px may be minus 1 plus 1. Okay, py may be minus 1 plus 1. dxy may be minus 2 plus 2. dyz may be minus 1 plus 1. But dz square is always 0. Why? We will read in bonding chapter. So this magnetic quantum number explain how many number of orbitals present in a subcell. So S subcell has 1, P subcell has 3 orbitals, D subcell has 5 orbitals. After this, similarly, F subcell has 7 orbitals. Clear? Understood? So this is magnetic quantum number. Okay. Then we'll check. Next is angular momentum. I said angular momentum because this is the third quantum number. So its angular momentum will be what? NH. In place of n, we'll write mh by 2 pi. What is m? M is magnetic quantum number. Clear? Then next we'll read. So the subcells and orbitals, s orbital, p orbital, d orbital. So what are their shapes? Shapes of different orbitals. So s orbital, its shape is spherical. Okay, it is spherical. X-axis, y-axis, z-axis, spherical. Similarly, p orbital. So p means how many orbital? 3. Px, like this. Px, Py, Pz. So px orbital shape is dumbbell. Okay, so if this is x axis, then this is the px. Okay, y axis and what? Z axis. Similarly, py also, if this is what you see, if this is y axis, then this is py. Similarly, pz like this. Okay, so px, py and pz, they have dumbbell. Similarly, d orbital shape is double dumbbell. So dxy, dyz, dzx format you will remember same format, you see, like this. Okay, x axis, y axis, dxy. Similarly, dyz, same. Okay, y axis, z axis, dzx, same. Okay, so z axis, x axis. But dx square minus y square, its picture is like this. Means lobes are present on the axis. Here lobes are present between the axis. Similarly, dz square picture is like this. Okay, this is dz square. So here you will remember in px, py and pz, here you see these are called lobes, electron cloud, because we have read orbitals are the three-dimensional space where the probability of finding of electron is maximum. So this is px, py and pz. dxy, dyz, dzx, their format is same, yes or no? But dx square minus y square, the lobes are present on the axis. Here lobes are present between the axis. But in dz square you see, yes or no? These lobes are present in all three axes. So remember, these are the fundamental question. So this is called what? Your magnetic quantum number and shapes of different orbital. S orbital is spherical, d orbital is a double dumbbell, p orbital is a dumbbell, f orbital similarly will be triple dumbbell. Yes or no? So these are the what? This is called a magnetic quantum number. Then next quantum number is your spin quantum number, symbol is S. So spin quantum number explains what? Spin quantum number, it explains, that means each orbital contain how many electron? Each orbital contain 2 electron. Any orbital, each orbital contain 2 electron. So when the electrons are revolving around the nucleus, out of these 2 electron, one electron is moving in clockwise direction and another electron is moving in anti-clockwise direction. So spin quantum number said, suppose you see, suppose this is the what? Axis. So one electron cloud is moving in clockwise and another electron cloud is moving in anti-clockwise. So the electron which is moving in clockwise direction, it is represented by like this or plus half. Similarly, the electron which is moving in anti-clockwise, this is down arrow or what? Minus half. This is one. Okay, so according to this quantum number, each orbital contains 2 electrons with opposite spin. So one is clockwise and another one is anti-clockwise. Clockwise is represented by plus half, anti-clockwise is represented by minus half. Remember, spin quantum number is not derived from Schrödinger wave equation. So using spin quantum number also we can explain the angular momentum, because from the beginning always I am telling that angular momentum equals to here s into s plus 1 root over h by 2 pi. S into s plus 1 root over h by 2 pi. Got the idea? Then next you will remember what is the total spin. So total spin equals to, always you will remember, n into half. Short question. Total spin equals to n into half. What is n? That is the number of unpaired electrons. Just now after this we will read how can you calculate the total spin. So got the idea? So these are called our quantum number, principal, azimuthal magnetic spin, principle around 8 or 9 point. That means completely Bohr's theory. Okay. Then azimuthal subshell, yes or no, relative energies, angular momentum, then magnetic quantum number of orbitals in a subshell, yes or no, then their shape, which is called also orientation. Okay, then spin quantum number also explain what each orbital contain 2 electron, each out of 2, one is clockwise, another one is anti-clockwise, and what your angular momentum formula and what a total spin formula. So using all these 4 quantum numbers, now we'll read 3 theory or 3 rules. Okay, one is called Aufbau principle, Aufbau, Aufbau principle. Then another one will read PAULIS, Pauli's exclusion principle, Pauli's exclusion principle. Okay, and another one will read Hund's rule, Hund's rule or Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Okay, Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle, and Hund's rule. So already Pauli's exclusion principle I said in azimuthal quantum number, that is, you see 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 3d, 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f, 5s, 5p, 5d, 5f, like this. Okay, then always you will do like this. Okay, then you can easily check which orbital will come after which orbital or which subshell will come after which subshell. So 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, 4d, 5p, 6s, like this it will come. Clear now? So this is called Aufbau principle. So the filling of electron takes place in various subshells in the increasing order of their energies. This is called. So Aufbau is not a scientist, Pauli's is a scientist, Hund's is also a scientist. Aufbau meaning is what? Aufbau meaning is building up or filling up. Okay, so Aufbau principle means filling up. Clear now? Now tell me, S subshell has how many orbital? 1. One orbital contain how many electron? 2. That means S subshell how many electron? 2. Similarly, P subshell how many orbital? 3. Each orbital contain how many electron? 2. That means P subshell contain how many electron? 6. So that's why when we write that 2p6, 3p6, like this. Similarly, D subshell how many orbital? 5. Each orbital contain 2. So 5 2s are 10. So above D maximum we can write 10. F subshell how many? 7 orbitals. So 7 into 2s are 14. That means above F subshell maximum 14 electron we can write. Clear now? So this is called your Aufbau principle. Then next is Pauli's exclusion principle. Okay, Pauli's exclusion principle is what? Means each orbital contain how many electron? 2 electron. Pauli's said that 2 electron spin never equal. Understood? Spin never equal. So you see, suppose I am writing 1s2. So its n value, coefficient is always n, 1. L value for S subshell, L is always 0. M minus L2 plus L 0. S is, suppose for first electron, for first electron S equals to plus half. Similarly for second electron, N is 1, L is 0, M is 0, but S is minus half. So you see, 3 quantum number may be equal, but 4th quantum number means spin never equal. So that's why Pauli's exclusion principle, 2 definitions you can write. One is each orbital contain 2 electrons with opposite spin. This is one. And another one is, according to Pauli's, No two orbit, you see, remember, no two electrons in an atom can have same 4 quantum number. Yes or no? So quantum number, 4 quantum number never equal. So this is called a Pauli's exclusion principle. Clear? Then next is, what is Hund's rule? What is Hund's rule? So after Pauli's exclusion principle and Aufbau principle, next rule is Hund's rule. So what is Hund's rule? So Hund is a scientist. So he explained that no pairing of electron takes place unless and until each orbital contains single electron each in degenerate orbital. Again, no pairing of electron takes place in degenerate orbital unless and until each orbital contains single electron each. Okay, so here first part is coming. Sir, what do you mean by degenerate orbital? So degenerate orbital means orbitals having same energy are called degenerate orbital. So P has total how many orbitals? Px, Py and Pz. So these three orbitals, their energy are equal. Hence this is called a degenerate. Similarly, D how many orbitals? 5. So D subcell has 5 orbitals. So these 5 orbitals are called degenerate orbital. Clear? So this is called a degenerate orbital, means orbitals having same energy are called degenerate orbital. So P has 3 orbitals, hence this is also called P subcell is 3-fold degeneracy. P subcell is 3-fold degeneracy. 3-fold degeneracy means P subcell has 3 degenerate orbitals. Similarly, D subcell is 5-fold degeneracy. That means it has 5 degenerate orbitals. Similarly, F subcell has 7-fold degeneracy. That means 7 degenerate orbitals. Clear? So when you are writing this Hund's rule, so in Hund's rule, first we will check what is the electronic configuration. So when we write electronic configuration, so when you are writing this, we will follow all 3 rules. That means Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle, and Hund's rule. So hydrogen, you see, hydrogen atomic number 1. So electronic configuration is 1s1. Then helium atomic number 2. Electronic configuration is 1s2. Then lithium atomic number 3. Electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s1. Because S subcell has 1 orbital, each orbital contains 2 electrons. P 2s, 2 electron, 2p, 6 electron. Next, after lithium, beryllium 4. So 1s2, 2s2. So 2s finished. Next P will come. Boron 5, 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Carbon 6, 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So like this it will continue. So in the Hund's rule, you see, suppose nitrogen atom number 7, electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Okay, so P has total how many orbital? 3. So we can write 3 box. So 1, 1, 1. This is called Hund's rule. Okay, so after nitrogen, oxygen will come. So oxygen means 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So 2p4 means it is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. This is called Hund's rule. So no pairing of electron. That means we cannot write like this. This is wrong. We cannot write like this. This is wrong. So this is called Hund's rule. No pairing of electron takes place unless and until each orbital contains single electron. Clear now? So when you are writing electronic configuration follows all 3 rules: Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle, and Hund's rule. So you will remember the electronic configuration. Okay? And when you are writing electronic configuration, you will see, suppose Scandium atom number 20. So 20 means it is 1s2, 2s2. Sorry, scandium is 21. Calcium is 20. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, then what? 3d1. Okay, like this. So from 20 to 30, one chromium and copper. Chromium 24, copper 29. So it has exceptional electronic configuration. So here you see up to this it is argon. So this scandium also we can write, that is argon 18, 4s2, 3d1, 18 2.